What's going on, everyone? I'm showing you my 2024 to 2025 NFL quarterback tier list. I will go ahead and show this here. So my tier goes from elite, then we have great, and just to give you a definition of each, elite, these are the best of the best. Only a few quarterbacks can be there. Great, these are quarterbacks that I think have the potential to one day be elite, or maybe they've been around for a while and they're great quarterbacks, but they're just not quite to that elite status. Good quarterbacks, it's like, hey, these are your starters. They kind of float around above average. Maybe they can be average at some times, but these are your guys that could be waiting to see get further. Bridge quarterbacks, these are your quarterbacks that they can be a starter, but they're not there to be the guy. Too early but promising. A lot of these could be first, second, even third-year quarterbacks that, like, we're not sure if they are the guy yet, but it looks good. Too early but doubtful. These could be those first 2-3 year guys that's like, I don't know, but it's not happening. And career backup this is where the worst quarterbacks go. It's like, you're just not good enough to be a starter in the NFL. So here we are with our list. We got, starting here, Caleb Williams, and I'm going to go ahead and put him in the too early but promising. He has some of the best surroundings that a quarterback rookie has ever received, and I actually think he's going to do a lot of great things this year, but it's a little too early. You can't say, there's busts, Ryan Leaf situation. There's so many quarterbacks that we've seen with a lot of promising situations and just not worked out. I think that Caleb Williams will do great. That's why I put him in the promising, but other than that, we'll have to see. DeVito, he's a career backup. He's not bad. I loved the hype, the cutlets, we had a lot of fun with that. It's just, I don't think he's the guy. And the future with him, I just don't think it's anything. He's a career backup, in my opinion. He just kind of got to be in a good situation, or not a great situation, but rather it fell into his lap, and that's why he's there. Drake May, I'm going to say it's too early, but doubtful. A lot of people are more high on Milton. We feel like Milton is the better fit for the Patriots in general. May is somebody that I watched quite a bit, and even though I am a North Carolina State fan, I was never really impressed with May. He had some good throws, but I just don't know if he's the guy, to be honest with you. Flacco, being where he's at now, he's a bridge quarterback. He's not going to be the starter, and even if he does get playing time, he's not the main guy. So Joe Flacco, he's a bridge quarterback now. I would even argue in the past that he's been upwards of great. I like the guy quite a bit, but the only reason he's going to be playing is if Anthony Richardson's there. He's not really a career backup, in my opinion. He had a great career here, but right now he's kind of that bridge guy to help out and go on from there. Justin Fields, I'm afraid that he is a career backup now. He had his opportunities with the Bears. It didn't work out for him, but now he is going to probably be that kind of career backup. I could even put him in or argue a bridge quarterback, but with Russell Wilson there, I don't think that's the case. Bryce Young, the guy that I'm excited to see. This is my quarterback. I'm really promising on him. If he wasn't the guy, I would let you know that, but this man can throw the ball like not many others can. He's great at what he is. I know he gets a lot of slack because he's short. He's honestly not even that much shorter than Caleb Williams, but I really like Bryce Young, and I'm excited to see what the future is with him. He's finally got some weapons surrounding him, and it's going to be great to see exactly how this goes for him. Sam Howell, this is a guy that I think it's too early, but not exciting. Now, this is another quarterback from UNC, and I didn't play in this, but I just feel like Sam Howell didn't do the promising things that they wanted to do. I feel like Washington kind of messed him up. Sam Howell had some good times with Washington, and there was a lot of times where I liked what he did. I just don't know how I feel about that. When it comes to Sam Howell, I like the guy a lot. In fact, I'm actually going to put him in front of Drake May. I feel like Howell had some good work that he did with Washington. However, I just don't know how the longevity is going to work out here. They moved on from him, so now he's with Seattle. He could be the quarterback of the future with Seattle. We'll have to see, but for now, I think it's doubtful just for the situation. Now, Patrick Mahomes, we hit it up here, but we've got the Mahomes category. Best quarterback in the league, pretty simple. Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is in the great status now. The reason why is we're yet to see. He would typically be elite if he's back to full health and everything. We don't know. I think he's still a great quarterback, and I think it's valid to put him in this category. We'll have to see how he does this year. I hope he gets to play longer than that. The Jets fans deserve that. But yeah, I've got him in the great category. Bailey Zappi, career backup. I honestly feel like the best quarterback on that team is Milton. I don't know. Watch the preseason, just kind of videos from camps and everything like that. I feel like Milton might be the best option for them. Tua. I think Tua's good. I do think that his surrounding cast is better than, it would give everybody to believe. But, I mean, when he's got so much speed and surrounded around him, I think he's in that category of good. But we'll have to see if he can improve from that. Will Levis. Too early for me, but I do see this as very promising. Levis is a great quarterback. I think he's had some great moments. I think he chose the wrong mayonnaise. That's my biggest concern with him. Maybe he can be a little too not care about the ball as much, and he slings it. But I mean, hey, he's a gunslinger. He likes to go for it. But Levis, he likes Hellman's mayonnaise. That's the biggest thing I can complain about. If it ain't Duke's, it ain't mayonnaise. So yeah, that's kind of the situation there. All right, Wilson, I'm going to put him in the good category. Even though I could honestly say that he could be down in bridge quarterback, I'm giving him the promising benefit of the doubt that the Broncos was the problem. The Broncos had a tough situation there. It just didn't work out. It didn't seem like they liked him there, and they even limited how much he could play, but I feel like Wilson was the better quarterback. Maybe he'll function here in a better ran organization with the Steelers, so we'll see. And he might be getting Brandon Ayuk soon, so that could be good for him too. Kyler Murray, I'm going to put him in the good category as well. I think he can move up into the great. The way that they finished was very strong last year. I really like Kyler Murray. We'll see how he does this year. The Cardinals, I have talked about this many times. This is my sleeper team to do pretty good and maybe go far this year. So we'll see how they do. Jared Goff is one of the great quarterbacks right now. I don't care what people say. I know he's not got a great name. This man has led his team to a Super Bowl in the past, switched teams, and he got to the NFC Championship last year, and if a couple plays went their way, he was in the Super Bowl. Goff is a great quarterback, and I'm excited to see where he goes. Is he great? Is he elite? I'm going to actually move him in elite. I got Jared Goff as elite. I'll be honest with you. I think that he's shown more recently, and I'll put him in the elite category currently. Daniel Jones. Will be interested to see if he's in the good category this year. He's not necessarily too bad. I could also see him and justify putting him in the bridge because the guy, I don't know if he's the future. We'll get to see this year with Malik Neighbors. But just for everything here, I am going to go ahead and put him in good because I do think he's better than a lot of people will admit. I just think that he's not had the guys around him. But Neighbors, man. Neighbors is going to be interesting to see how that works for him. Lawrence. Fundamentally, great quarterback. We're going to have to see exactly how it goes. He could be good. He could be in the good. He's kind of floating in between back and forth. I do think he is a great quarterback. We'll have to see if he can get more than that, but I do like Lawrence as a quarterback. I think he's great. He signed a big deal, and I like that for him too. Carr, I've got him as a bridge quarterback. Not that he's bad at all. I just don't think he's the guy of the future for the Saints. I think a lot of Saints fans would even agree with that. I think that he is good. He's got his moments, but I just don't think he's the guy. Tyrod Taylor, career backup. Pretty easy and simple there. Kirk Cousins. He's floating around this good to great category. If we're going to go based off of what I thought and he had last year and continue that, I think he's in the great category. I think Atlanta could be a tough team to play, and I'm scared as a Panthers fan that Atlanta's going to be tough because Cousins is good. That's the best quarterback they've had in a while, and they've been flirting around with potentially being a breakout team because of that. I expect Kyle Pitts to get better and that team in general to get better. Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, man, that team has a lot of potential. The Falcons are kind of scary. Lamar Jackson, easily elite, and I'm going to even put him in front of Jared Goff. I think that's more than fair, and that's just kind of how I feel about that, but I'm excited to see where that goes for the future there. But, yeah, feels really good. I'm going to go ahead and put Jordan Love in the great category. I think the guy's great. I think he's already proved a lot in his year last year than a lot of quarterbacks have proven completely. They almost beat the 49ers on the road, too, if a couple plays went their way. And I know if that. Overall, I feel like the talent of Jordan Love, he showed a lot of growth throughout the year. And I really think that the Packers are in good hands, and they've got himself another great quarterback. Brock Purdy, he's really good. I would even put him here at the top of good, borderline great. Great statistical season last year. I do, however, think that like when you have Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, like that offense is just elite at every position. That's the only knock that I can say. And hey, I mean that's not really a knock. I mean the dude's great. He got his team to the Super Bowl. But I'm talking specifically the quarterback, and I do think that he is elevated by the people around him. I think a lot of players in this category would do really well there if they were in the same situation. Nothing on Purdy. I do think he is borderline great. If we keep seeing more, like if he loses Brandon Ayuk and like keeps going on forward with it with the older Debo Samuel, I really think that he could go up in the list, but currently I'm going to put him at good, borderline great. That's where we got Purdy. Matthew Stafford. He's floating around here from the great to the elite situation, in my opinion, as well. I'm going to put him in great. I do think he's a borderline. I mean, he could be up here in the elite as well, but I do kind of have him right there in the borderline from great to elite. I would even move him forward kind of here in front of these other guys. And just to be frank, I'd probably do that right there. I'll reorganize all these and kind of put them from first to last. But I do like Stafford borderline elite. Same thing with Rodgers, but I don't want to put them in that elite category unless I feel like they're going to be 100% great this year. Herbert, my guy. I love the dude, but I've got to put him in good. I can't see him. We're going to have to see this year. Maybe they've got a lot more going that way. They got Lad McConkey. Johnson maybe can do better for them this year. So we'll have to see exactly how the weapons work out there for the Chargers, but I like Herbert in general, but time's running out, man. You gotta keep it going. You gotta keep it going. Zach Wilson, he's a career backup. He had some moments and some flares that he showed with the Jets. I don't think he's gonna be much other than that. We'll have to see, but I've got Wilson as career backup. Aiden O'Connell, it's too early to tell, but I'm gonna put it down as doubtful. I just think that they've tried to move on from him already. I really like him. I thought he could be a great quarterback and potentially the starter for them. But it doesn't seem like the Raiders are too set on making him the guy that they build around. But I don't know. I think he can come in and win a couple games. It's still too early, and he could be something, but I've got him as doubtful. Geno Smith. I think he's a bridge guy. I like Geno. Loved him all the way from West Virginia. He's had a great career. He's went out and done stuff, but I really just think that Geno is the bridge guy, and he can function. He could even be borderline good at moments, but I do think that he's not the future. So that's why I got him at the bridge quarterback. Jaden Daniels. This is like my sleeper pick for like the best quarterback of the rookie class. I really think that he is I really think that he can do a lot. I think that he has potential in regards to skill to be the best quarterback of his draft class, even above Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has the most around him. I feel like Jaden Daniels has the most athletic ability and overall skill. And I know some people aren't going to necessarily agree with that, and that's totally fine, but I feel like Jaden Daniels has a lot that I'm excited to see. And that's a guy I'm kind of betting on, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Jalen Hurts, he's also flirting around with great. He's kind of down here in the good, though, in my opinion. We're going to have to see what he can do here for the future. I do like him more than, like, Purdy and Tua overall. But Jalen Hurts kind of flirting with getting to the great. But all those receivers he's got, man, and the offensive line, like, come on, man. Like, what can you do? You know, they should have went further in the playoffs last year. A lot of it, I feel like, is the coaching staff. But, hey, good's not bad, though, so that's where I got to put him. Joe Burrow, dude's elite. I mean, if you put him up there, and he's definitely above Goff. If you put him up there, I think that he can get it done. Deshaun Watson, I feel like he is flirting around between good and being a bridge quarterback. I'm actually going to go ahead and put him at the top of bridge quarterback because, look, I think he could be good, and he could go up there as well. And, in fact, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to put him at the end of good because I think that he could really make this team a lot better. The Browns, they functioned with Flacco last year. If Watson can get back to the way he did the last season with the Texans, it'd be great. But maybe too much time has passed. He's not the same as he used to be. But yeah, I'm gonna have to put Watson there. But he's in a lot of worry here if something doesn't get done in the next couple of years, or if a backup comes in and does decent, he could be that bridge quarterback, and they could draft somebody else. Richardson, I like him a lot. It's promising. It's early, but the problem I have is he can be a little too tough. And what I mean by that is he risks it too much. I worry about him taking hits and the longevity of that. I understand different quarterbacks, running quarterbacks, they've said that before and they've lasted a long time. But he seeks out contact. Now, running quarterbacks that, like, I was a Cam Newton fan. I seen that. Cam knew when to go down. But Richardson, he seeks out that confrontation and that, hard-hitting moments. So I've got to put him at it's too early. It's promising, but he's got to fix some things for sure. Sam Darnold, bridge quarterback at most. He might be getting the start here. And while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and put McCarthy up here, but I'm putting him at doubtful. McCarthy, he had some great moments in the preseason. However, it just literally broke that he's going to be having a surgery here, and it looks like Darnold's going to be the starter. I'm pulling for McCarthy. I would like to see that, but not getting those time, having to sit out, that can make things be tough. And if Darnold does pretty decent, how much play time is McCarthy going to go with? They're going to go with the hot hand and whoever's doing that. I'm not saying Darnold's great. We'll have to see, but overall, that's kind of how I feel about them. Great quarterbacks. I got to put C.J. Stroud up here. Stroud, man, last year, it was just his rookie year, but he took his team to the playoffs. He even won a playoff game. Huge. Stroud has looked great. He's had a lot of offseason here. He's been in the media. He's been the face of the offseason. And trust me, as a Panthers fan, I've heard nothing but everything about C.J. Stroud. And I pull for the dude, Before the Panthers drafted or traded up, I thought potential quarterbacks the Panthers were going to be getting were like an Anthony Richardson, maybe a C.J. Stroud too, depending on who fell. And I was fine with either one. I wanted Bryce Young because, overall, he looked like the better quarterback for sure. I still believe that Bryce Young has that potential, but I was happy with Stroud. I like the dude a lot. He's a really good guy. He's a good kid. Anytime you talk to him or hear anything from him being talked to, he's just a really good person. And I'm pulling for him. I want to see him do great things, and they have really surrounded him with a great supporting cast there. And, yeah, so I got Stroud in great, and a couple more seasons or even just a year or two. If we keep seeing consistency like this, that means it's going to be an elite quarterback for sure. Josh Allen, I've got him in the elite category. I think that the man is really good. I think that he's can put the team on his back. He's going to have a lot of questions thrown his way this year, though, and I'm actually going to put him above Goff. I think that he has got a lot to go his way in the past. We'll have to see how it goes this year. I mean, there's like the Bills fans are saying that Diggs was the problem. And then, of course, Diggs is saying that, like, he's just glad to be out of there. So we'll kind of have to see. That kind of goes into the fact that, like, Stroud has Diggs now. Allen does not. Allen's wide receiver cast is not great. He's going to be put to the test this year. I'm excited to see how he does, though. I think that he can function, and we'll have to see. So Dak Prescott, a lot of y'all are not going to agree with this. I've got him in the great category as well. Some of you might have him lower down. I will, like I said, here in a minute after I've got everybody placed, I'll fine-tune and go from like first to last. But, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I feel like he's a great quarterback. And I think that, of course, the playoff questions are always there. But I don't think he's bad at all. I definitely think he's a starter. I think he's a lot better than a lot of these in the good. So I've got to put him in great. Baker Mayfield, I like him. He's floating, in my opinion, around the good or the bridge. But I'm going to put him in the good category because I do think last year, if he continues that success, we'll see. Is Baker Mayfield, did he have the change? Or was it Dave Canales that really helped improve him, which hopefully will improve Bryce Young? We'll have to see this year, but I think it's fair to put him in the good category. Michael Penix. Now, I'm going to put him in too early but promising because of the weapons that Atlanta has, and I don't know It looks like they might be trying to build around him. Cousins didn't know about Penix going to get drafted, and it's got to be frustrating for him because, like, he's just trying to go to a team and make it his team. But, like, Penix, pretty decent situation, and the weapons around him could be great if he gets that starting position. So I'm excited to see what the future is for him. But getting to set is never necessarily a bad thing. Bo Nix, I like him too. The future with him, I think that he's going to be a quarterback that could work out well for the Broncos. It'll be fun to see exactly what the case is, but I've got Bo Nix doing pretty good. I think that the future is going to be bright with him, and we'll have to see how it goes. So here is my list. This is the quarterback list that I've got here from the top. Number 1 being Mahomes, and I think it goes down to the 40s. Down in the career backups. So you can read it. This is my rankings from left to right on which quarterbacks I think are better based off of everything in general, talent, and everything else. Of course, there are a couple that I can make exceptions from. If Rodgers comes back and does well, I could move him up. Same with Stafford. I know that he kind of dealt with some injuries and stuff like that, but he had some good moments, so he could move up as well. And, of course, if there's some that can move down. I mean, all these have potential to move down, but this is my list. This is my tier list from top to bottom of the NFL quarterbacks from 2024 to 2025. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. I know some of y'all are not going to be excited or happy about all these selections, but I tried to go as unbiased as possible, but that's what I think. Well, anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Give me a like or a thumbs up so that you can see more content like this. If you'd like to see other things as well, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss anything. I appreciate everybody for watching this long, and I'll see you guys in the next one.